Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is afternoon, apparently now, so we're a few minutes after. Thank you guys so much for coming here. You guys are the best-looking group of people I've ever seen. No, really, I mean it this time. I do. I did this last time. My name's Chris Schultz. I'd like to introduce myself here. I'm host of Talk About Topeka, which is a great show you can check out. It's on KMAJ 1440 AM every Monday through Friday. We started that this Monday, so it's really exciting. And you can give me a call. I'll take that all day long. No, and we also have our show on WIBW's My TV on Tuesday nights at 9:30. So we're talking about a lot of community things, a lot of familiar faces out there that we've had on our show, and it's really good to see you all. And even my parole officer made it here today, which is really exciting. And by that I mean my new co-host Jamie Slack, who many of you probably know. Though she plays one on the radio. She's good for it. Really, I want to thank you. We've got a panel today on homelessness, and you might be wondering, what does homelessness have to do with Safe Street's mission of becoming the safest capital city? Well, this panel is going to make it very clear to you that there's definitely some ties there. Before we get started, this yellow piece of paper on your tables, if you'll fill that out and get the information into them, it would be very helpful. So go ahead and pass that around the table and get that signed. And then we would like to get the press conference part of this started here with Cindy Patton. Cindy? To present the Champion of Character Award. And anybody who's on the Character Council, if you all could come forward as well.
We have a wonderful recipient today of the Champion of Character Award. His name is Jamie Wong. Where did he go? There he is. Yeah, Jamie was nominated by Jamie Slack, and Jamie is a local artist that has helped beautify Topeka. He has worked on the Topeka Mural Project for some time now. He is dedicated to making the community beautiful, according to Jamie Slack, who's on staff at Safe Streets. Slack nominated Klon for this award for demonstrating the character qualities of resourcefulness and diligence. Klon originally is from Overland, where he created a mural of his grandparents at Seward Lake, and in the process he became educated about the art of creating outdoor murals. He was hired as artistic director at the Topeka Mural Project. He sets up the outline, selects the proper kind of paint, and then the public is invited to help paint the murals. Paint has been donated by several local companies. Jamie just recently finished a mural at Avondale East School, which is now a community center with several different agencies housed there. And he is currently working on a mural at Meadows Elementary School. And I have the Commissioner Bueller here. Oh, Sarah's arrived. All right. Oh.
I'm Sarah the Executive Director of Arts Connect, and the Topeka Mural Project is one of our main focus areas this year and hopefully going into the future. And Jamie came to us kind of in a serendipitous way in that we did a call to art on the Oakland mural, and we got a few designs, and they weren't exactly perfect because of the size of the space, and then we received a mock-up of a mural that was this guy's grandparents, and it was amazing with the super chief and the cupid, and turned out it was Jamie, who not only is a really talented artist, but was really interested in learning the process of putting up murals, and has been a, well, we couldn't have done the mural project without him, and it makes it actually it's a really important project for our community, but it's really important to have someone like Jamie who can manage it and make it happen. So here's shouting.
Good.
The Kansas Character Recognition Council of Topeka, Shawnee County recognizes Jamie Cologne. As the strength of our nation is dependent upon the health and safety of its communities, the strength of our community is dependent upon the character of its citizens. We, the Character Council of Kansas, in conjunction with Topeka City Character and Safe Streets Coalition, of Topeka and Shawnee County recognize Jamie Cologne for demonstrating resourcefulness and diligence. This council wishes to commend Jamie for his outstanding community service in painting murals in Topeka, making the city more beautiful. We commend Jamie for showing by example that good character is doing the right thing, whatever the cost. Jamie helped to make our nation safe, healthy, and strong. Congratulations.
First of all, I'd like to thank Safe Streets for awarding me this. Second of all, I would like to just let everybody know there's a lot of people to thank doing this mural work because it takes a lot of people. First of all, it wouldn't have happened without Lieutenant Joe Perry from the Topeka Police Department. If he had not had an idea to create these murals, they probably wouldn't happen the way that they are happening right now. Second of all, someone like Sarah Fazell, who, I'll tell you what, she is one very busy woman. She gets out there, she plans everything. She's like a den mother to us. She keeps us all in line. So, the other thing is to thank, more importantly, this award is a representative of the people. Without all the people that come out to help to do this, those murals are tough to get up. I mean, you're talking about, after this summer, we're probably talking about 400 or 500 feet of murals. And without the public's help, they wouldn't get up. So I appreciate all of that help. And so do the other artists that do that. It's just a great example of how community comes together for a long-term solution. And thank you very much.
City did say the paint was donated, but the paint is actually not donated. It's super expensive. So we are still fundraising to complete the 2 murals that we have left to do this summer, and we are about $2,500 left to go in that effort. So either through Arts Connect or through our crowdfunding source, which is GoFundMe.com, I believe. It's available on our website. And please take a minute if you're interested in supporting the mural, either financially or with your time and artistic skills, of which there, other than Jamie and the other artists, there aren't actually that many artistic skills required. So we'll help you. Come on, paint with us.
And be sure and send us your nominations for Character Champions. We need more nominations so that we can have these presentations every month. So be sure and get those to us. You can mail them to Topeka City of Character P.O. Box, 152. And I do have some forms here, and our website, we're redoing our website. So I don't think those forms are on the website yet. So if you need a form, let me know. I have some here today, and you can always call me, and I would be glad to get you a form, or call Safe Streets, and they can get you one too. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you to all of them. Thank you, Cindy. And, I think we need to give one more round of applause to Jamie for taking his passion and turning it into something positive for the community, because that's something we can all learn from. And to sum up what Sarah said, cough up the dough. All right. We have a little business here to get taken care of. We need to approve the May minutes, so if you've got the May minutes in email, they should have come to you. We will be entertaining a motion to approve those from the floor here. Do we have one of those? Motion. We have from Ron Brown here. Second from Jeff. All in favor of approving the minutes, say aye. All opposed, same sign. All right. They're approved. Now I'd like to introduce Judy Wilson, who's going to give us a quick staff update. Let's do the crime stats first. With Chris Kramer.
You just wanted to see me get up and down.
I did.
Well, despite a very busy weekend, we're not looking too bad. We're down 37 on the violent count.
Hold it up. Hold it up closer there.
Don't do this very well.
There you go.
Right here? Okay, we're down 37. You said 19 on individual robberies. I talked to the detective just before I came up here, and in the majority of those cases, we've got suspects identified. So we're not doing too bad there. And aside from one purse snatch and 50 shopliftings, we're all blue, and we like blue when we're looking at crime stats, so we're doing really well. Minus 359 on the property side, so this is just a real good example of the community working together to solve our crime problem, so we're doing real well.
Thank you very much. Now you want to go? All right, she wants to go now. Here's Judy Wilson.
Well, we had a great staff report for you this month. We do have 7 neighborhood watch meetings that were held, and we had 13 calls and emails providing more information. So we're now beginning to reactivate some of the neighborhoods that really haven't met for a while. National Night Out. Well, you see up there were 59, but since I did that yesterday afternoon, we're now 61. And there are over 9,000 people participating. So how about doing 70 neighborhoods? Wouldn't that be great? Oh, yes. So if you want to sign up, just see me. I have the forms at the back right after the meeting. It'll be lots of fun. We really have a lot of momentum going. We had a new one this morning at 10 o'clock before I left here. We have 3 more that have emailed me, and another one coming at 2 o'clock this afternoon. So we hope to have a great number for you next month. And this past month, for National Night Out, we've had 340 calls and emails for information. So this is really throughout Shawnee County. If you would like to order a National Night Out t-shirt and join the fun, I do have forms at the back to see me after the meeting, and we'll get a t-shirt order for you. They're only $7 or $9 if you have a larger size. So it's really a bargain. Now, I also would like to remind you to stay tuned for WIBW TV and WIBW AM for more information on National Night Out. And you will probably be receiving information from me through emails, and also check out our Facebook page at NNO Topeka. That's all capitals, NNO Topeka. The events this month, we had 2. We had a Pine Ridge community meal with 88 people attending, and we also had the retailers meeting with 16 there. We had 2 trainings this month as well. 2 bilingual power parent classes were conducted. One was at Scott Magnet School, and one was at Fellowship in Faith. We do have some upcoming dates. June 11th is the retailers meeting, so any businesses who would like to come to Safe Streets at 6 o'clock on June 11th, we welcome you to come and learn all the latest on crime and how to prevent it in the stores or in your business. Also, National Night Out Planning meeting on the 19th, and you're all welcome to come. Our first meeting, we had 80 people standing room only at the library. And this last time we had about 60. The room was full. So we'd be glad to put more chairs in and squeeze you right in. So be sure and attend. I would also like to introduce Brian Cole, who will come at this time and give us an update on the May panel discussion.
I've always been accused that I don't need a mic, and I like to talk, but I promise I won't take too much time because this is a very important panel today. last month we talked about mental health, the challenges, the unique challenges that we're facing in our community and the criminal justice system, of the increase of having those with mental illness get involved or finding themselves with interaction with the police. And we talked a great deal about the tools, the resources we have in the community. But one of the things that I wanted to follow up with everybody was this notion of a sequential intercept mapping model. And that is something that is up and started here in Shawnee County, but also throughout the United States. And essentially what that is a model that creates 5 different intercepts and tries to identify those with mental illness, co-occurring disorders who have a high risk for having interaction or becoming involved in the criminal justice system. And we want to identify at each concept or at each intercept the different tools and the resources we have. Essentially, basically what it does is it starts when your first interaction with law enforcement, what resources are available, what happens if they do come to jail, what resources and avenues do we have, the courts, discharge planning is your 4th intercept, and then probation and parole. Well, when I called together a great deal of people, probably about a year ago, and we sat down and did a brainstorm for almost 8 hours trying to identify the different resources. We have a lot of those things already in place in Shawnee County. But we did find out we did lack in about 3 different areas. And I want to talk today just briefly about those 3 areas now that are going to help put Topeka apart or set us apart from other agencies or other communities. One of them is recently was approved through a tremendous partnership with the Shawnee County Sheriff's Office, Topeka Police Department, Vallejo, and the Shawnee County Department of Corrections. We were able to fund a mental health position that will be stationed in law enforcement headquarters to be able now to go out and assist with inmates or not inmates, but people in the community with mental illness who go into crisis. That is tremendous. We have that going on, but now being able to hire a mental health professional who will team up with law enforcement is a tremendous asset to divert people away from jail. Sometimes they do need to come to jail, but this may be able to expedite getting somebody screened, getting somebody to the mental health services quicker, resulting that they're not in the community or in the criminal justice system, which we all know is much more expensive than dealing with the community. So that is something that was approved here about a month ago. We're in the planning stages of getting that up and started. Jay Lynn that was up here, she is going to be the one who is going to be taking that position, and she's outstanding. It's going to be great. So that is one area. The other one is that obviously, the crisis center with Vallejo, the ground has been broke there. One of the areas, is having an acute or a crisis stabilization unit. Other areas around the community have those. We do not. Now with Vallejo being able to break ground, and I believe we'll be up and running hopefully in September of this year, that is going to be another tremendous asset for law enforcement to take those who are dealing with the community somewhere instead of the jail, because jails are not stabilization units. You take them there, and then they can get the services they need. It doesn't mean they still won't come to jail, but we're hoping that we can get them to the services before they do come to jail. And then one of the other areas is where we're missing in county or in the city was the courts. I have been working very closely with a great group of people all over Topeka through the city court of finally starting up a mental health court. And I can't tell you how proud and pleased I am that we're even being able to look at that initiative here in Topeka, Kansas. We've been studying and working with those in the city of Wichita for the last 2 or 3 years on their mental health court. We've got the infrastructure set here in Topeka. We're now looking at trying to reach out to find funding sources to help us with that. But we are right there getting ready to get this started. We're hoping that it'll be either at the end of the year or the beginning of 2015 that we'll have a well-established mental health court. The bottom line of what I'm trying to say is with those three added tools in the intersects that we have in Shawnee County and in the city of Topeka, this will set Shawnee, our community, ahead much farther than a lot of communities in helping a very good group of people that we need to mess the mentally ill who find themselves in jails. So with that, I just want to let you know that I have a lot of passion with working with the mentally ill. We're trying to do our best to let people know about what's going on. If you have meetings at your churches, your schools, NIAs, neighborhood watches, please give us a call, because I'd be more than happy to come out and talk about what CIT is in that avenue, because it still is something we need to get the word out. So with that, I just wanted to bring everybody an update on some more initiatives that are happening in Shawnee County, Topeka, and that we are setting ourselves apart from other communities. So with that, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, John. And I think, Brian, did you grab my agenda up here? He's the only guy, I think, that besides Chuck Norris, who would take my agenda in front of so many law enforcement officers.
Take it for somebody from the jail to steal something. Huh?
Thanks a lot. All right. Well, let's see. Let's get started on our panel here. I want to introduce that panel to you right now. We'll also introduce you to Ron Brown, who's going to be walking around here with a microphone. If you have any questions, flag Ron down and he'll come over, and we'll try and get your questions in here. And as well, Jamie Slack will be picking up cards and bringing them up, so if you don't feel comfortable talking on the microphone, you can always get those cards into us and we'll ask them there for you. Our panel starts out with Barry Thieper of the Topeka Rescue Mission. Where are we at, Barry? Excuse me, Barry. Is Barry in the room? Not in the front row, looking you in the face. Barry, if you want to come on up and join us up here. We also have Holly Kirkwood. She's representing Operation Street Reach. Holly, give them a nice round of applause. I like applause. That's good. Thank you. G.R. Laughlin, Community Resources Council. G.R. And Rosanna Haberman from USD 501. All right, really quick here, just the elevator speech. We got a microphone over here. I want to make sure it's working for you. Go down the line here. This is a tricky one. Here we go. All right, Rosanna, if you could just give us an elevator speech, a little bit about your background. Good.
Until last Friday, I was coordinator of private city council for Topeka Public Schools. Sitting in that position, I was a high school counselor at Topeka High School. I supervised all the guidance counselors in 501. Along with that, and part of my responsibilities, I was also the district homeless liaison, of which every school district in the state of Kansas must have someone in that position, and that was my role. So I've worked a great deal with homelessness. I've worked with Barry quite a bit because we have a classroom over here at the Rescue Mission, as well as provide services for all of our homeless students that are identified in 501.
Thank you, Zana.
I've been with the Topeka Rescue Mission since 1986. The mission was established in 1953, so it's been around a while and still alive. We shelter over 2,000 people a year, and many hundreds of thousands of meals, and do a lot of collaboration with everybody in the community to not only take care of the emergency needs of the homeless, but see what we can do to help them to reestablish and break the cycle of poverty.
I'm Holly Kirkwood, and I was a teacher for about 10 years, and then I working with at-risk students. I switched over to mental health, and I'm now. I'm the assertive outreach case manager. So I do street outreach with Justin from the mission once a week, all day long, and I get the opportunity to get on the streets and meet with clients to see what resources we can get to them.
And I'm G.R. Laughlin of the Community Resources Council. I've been with the council since 2010 on August, and our Community Resource Council is just next year will be starting its 90th year and has been involved in homelessness over those years. But lately I've been administrator for the homeless for the county, and currently am now the CEO of the Community Resources Council.
All right, thank you very much, John. Thank you to all these guys. Give them a nice round of applause for being here. So again, if you have questions, be sure to flag down Jamie. If you have a card or Ron Brown, we'll be happy to come over and bring a mic over to you. I have a few questions to get us started here. This first question is for Barry. What's the relationship between homelessness and crime?
I don't know. When people get desperate, they do desperate things. And whether it's homelessness or poverty, or those related issues that go along with that, when people do not have the basic necessities of life, and they don't have a place to stay, don't have good enough food to eat, they can begin to be involved in behaviors that will either help them to get what they need for the moment, and that could be crime, or it could become a lifestyle because it's a way of survival. And so I don't like to lump all homeless people in any category because they're all across the board, but there are some significant issues that we know, not only locally but nationally, that if we do a good job with trying to help the homeless as well as those who are impoverished to be able to not just get by, but to have opportunity in life, then it makes a healthier and safer community.
Thank you, Barry. GR, what are the demographic breakdowns of those in Topeka and Shawnee County that are homeless?
Well, it's across the board, as Barry pointed out. There's no specific demographics to an individual. It can be somebody that's been multi-millionaire in the past and things change, but we are having a lot more children and women that are finding themselves homeless, as well as veterans as well. So.
Very good, thank you. I know Ron's getting a little bit lonely over there, so if you have questions for him. Very good. How many homeless students are in USD 501?
We identified 545 students this past school year. I was in the 600s last year, and I think you should know that when we identify school children, it is not just the students that are families living at the rescue mission. Part of the law that we follow in the school district is the McKinney-Vento law, which identifies children who lack or families who lack a fixed, regular, and adequate nighttime residence. And so the greater majority of our students that we identify are what we refer to as doubled up. So families are living together. There might be several families living under the same roof in the same apartment. We do have some of our students who are living in hotels. A few are in mobile units like house trailers and potentially living out of their cars. We have some unaccompanied youth, which are our teenagers or anyone who is not connected with their parents at some point in time. And we do have a few of those, and sometimes we refer to those as couch surfers. So we identified, I think, somewhere around 10 to 15 of our unaccompanied youth this year. So 545 for this school year.
Thank you. And this question is for Holly. With your experience, what's the root cause of homelessness? What do you think?
I think that varies a lot by the different families or person that is affected. Sometimes it can be, we have a group of people down by the river who like to be outdoors, and they just need supports that need to be connected so they can be empowered to move forward in their life. There's also people who just circumstances in life have placed them where maybe they lost their electricity, so that means they lose their home. So I think it varies and is usually very personal for the reason that people are homeless.
Thank you. Now this one I'll kind of leave it open, and whoever feels they have the best answer, just spout out there. When you see homelessness, obviously in need, who should they contact? And who should they contact at day? Who should they contact at night? Harry got it.
Homeless are going to have different needs. If it is, Holly mentioned, there are some people that choose to be outdoors. They would not come into the shelter for a number of reasons. Most of the people that are homeless in our community that don't fit that category. So try to determine what it is that they're actually wanting at this time and what they're needing. We always assume that they need a place to sleep, but that's not always the case. It could be that homelessness is caused because of a domestic issue that's going on, and people have some resources they just don't even think about. It could be family, it could be friends, it could be going somewhere that would be less intrusive to them personally than a homeless shelter where you've got 300 other people that are staying there. So I think it's kind of a challenge for the general public to know where to refer somebody to, because we don't know what has created the situation that they're in. That said, the rescue mission is open 24/7. It is something that's familiar with many people in the community, and it's not always a bad place to start to ask the question, or have the person start analyzing the question with staff and volunteers around to help them to determine, is this the best place for them to go? And oftentimes it is, because there's no other resources. A lot of people wouldn't be there if they had other resources. But trying to determine what created the homelessness in the first place, and then what the person wants to do with their situation is probably the best place to start.
Very good. And Rosanna, what services are available for those students that we know are homeless?
For our kiddos in the schools, the first thing that we do is, once they're identified, is to provide them with school supplies, free lunches. If they have any fees, we waive those fees, locker fees, PE fees. Sometimes we have kids who need tennis shoes to participate in the gym, or like this year I had a little gal, a middle school gal, who really wanted to be a part of the track team, and she needed a pair of tennis shoes to do that. So we went out and got that for her. I had another kiddo who was wanting to participate in the school musical, and she needed a dress, and we took her out and got that taken care of. So those are the top priorities. Transportation weighs into that, and it is such a difficult item because it's expensive. But it used to be that our students who were living at the rescue mission primarily went into 3 schools. If they were elementary, it was Quincy. If they were middle school, it was Chase. And if they were high school kids, they went to Topeka High. But now we follow the law, and children have the right to go back to what we call their school of origin. So let's say a family ends up at the rescue mission, but yet the children have been going to school at McClure, and it is our responsibility to provide transportation over to that school of origin. Same thing if that family was living doubled up. So if they were, the circumstances changed the legitimate place of where they would be going to school, we provide transportation so the kids can go back to the school, what we refer to as school of origin. And then after that, sometimes it's birth certificates and mental health needs. Because I work with the school counselors, we try to address as many of those issues through the school counselors as possible.
Thank you. This question is, they've seen an increase in homeless people in the streets asking for help. What should we tell them?
Usually I try to figure out, Justin, who is the street outreach coordinator for the mission, always says don't give money, give socks, but I think that it's based around what are their immediate needs, and I think that we try to figure out what are their immediate needs, but what is going to support them so they can go further on their own. So if we can provide them with socks today, but also say, do you have an income? How can we help you get that? Can we hook you up with resources so that you can maybe apply for disability if that's appropriate? So it's the everyday person in the street could help with their immediate needs and maybe connect them with services. The services here in Topeka are so amazing that, they can go many homeless people said to me, I don't go hungry here in Topeka. They can get a meal for every meal plus a sack lunch to take with them for later. So if we go to any of those places like Let's Help or the Mission or Doorstep, they're going to be given resources, the additional resources they need, or connected to them.
All right, and this question is, why is this our responsibility? For anyone who'd like to answer that. The hot seat.
I'll repeat the question. That was to, what's our responsibility to help?
Well, yeah, why is this our responsibility?
Well, there's a lot of different reasons why. If you just look at in a fiduciary manner, the costs associated with homelessness within our community, currently right now in Topeka, it's about $54,000 per person per year. If you look at the U.S. Interagency Council on Homelessness, it could be anywhere between $35,000 and $135,000 cost to the community. So, in a cost fashion, it's our responsibility to help those individuals. Morally, then there's the other side. What we do morally, the right thing to do is helping those. It's giving them a hand up, teaching them how to fish, not giving them the fish. Although it is very expensive out there. Just to give you an idea, through MacLink is the software program here within the community that we track things. This year we're on track for about $4.5 million through that process, and that's about $1 million more than last year. So we're seeing a significant increase in costs. So once again, back to the cost, but the moral duty that we have for our community is to help out and give a hand up versus a hand out.
All right, thank you very much. This one, I hooked on phonics is the only level I made it to, so I'm going to try this here. Are there resources for poverty individuals that, where are we at here? This addressed the question about...
Our seminars are available for street people.
That are similar to what's available for street people? What?
That poverty people have the same options that the people have that are living on the street. As a quick example, I've got one. I have 4 kids. They have their father had a disease that failed. He died. 2 kids have it. Mother pregnant. She had no job, no skills. What options does she have?
Great question, Chris. Poverty goes way beyond homelessness, we know that. Homelessness is the result of a number of things that have come together. We have learned, without having to look too hard, that there are many places in our community that there are people who are hurting and suffering and struggling greatly. They just haven't become homeless yet. The resources are very limited in regards to what people really need. One example of where we really dug in part because of the Safe Streets Coalition and now NetReach, is to learn what's going on in the Highland Crest neighborhood. And the learning that has occurred over there has been phenomenal. We have been able to see cases like you're talking about that have not become homeless yet. I think as Sally has said so many times, they're homeless with a roof over their head. They're barely able to survive. What resources are available to them? We're beginning to analyze that, and we know we have to go way beyond those basic things, just giving them a meal for the day and maybe patching the roof up so it doesn't leak next time. We really don't have all the resources that are necessary. So we're wrapping our brain around what can we do as private citizens, what can we do collaboratively, what can we do on a governmental level. And I'm afraid that the reason we haven't done this before is because it's so complex that it looks impossible. And I think so many times we walked up to this edge of the cliff and we said, that's too far across to the other side, we're going to turn around and come back where it's safer. But this time we decided to do it differently. So, again, to answer your question, there are resources, but they're very limited resources, and there's not enough to go around for everybody. So we do the best we can, not to stop there and be satisfied with that, but to reach forward and say, how can we do that?
Thank you. And GR, this Mid-America Assistance Coalition survey here, I just want you to talk a little bit about that for us. Maybe I should give it to you.
Oh, okay, the service summary report. Yes, it's, as I just pointed out a little bit ago, the top 5 items that we're finding that we're actually providing resources for in order of the most is food, utilities, clothing, housing, and medical. To give you for instance, right now through the end of May, food is at $1.2 million we're giving out. And this doesn't include what Harvesters gives out. Last year they gave out more than 3 million pounds of food at Harvesters. So if you look at as an aggregate what's happening in our community, this form is available to you in the back too before you go if you want to grab one to share with others. But it gives the year-to-date for 2014 and the percentages for 2013. If you need more information, you can always call me and I can give you more in depth about that. But what this shows is, as Barry pointed out, the resources are extremely limited within our community. So what are the different things we can do in order to take the data and turn it around and help those individuals help themselves and prevent them to fall into different levels? And as Barry also pointed out, there are multiple levels of homelessness. They may not be in the mission or they may not be on the street, but they're at somebody's house doubled up and not knowing where the next place to live is. So.
Very good. And I want to give a nice round of applause to all of our panelists here today, if you would. I'm going to try and keep things moving along here real quick in case you have to get out of here by a certain time. I'm sure any of these folks will stick around if you have any questions you didn't get answered afterwards to get with them. Now, we would like you to, at this time, take a little time at your tables here, and I'll come back here. These little green pieces of paper, we're going to have a little breakout session here to see what we can do in our communities to address the topic of homelessness and how we're going to make Topeka the safest capital city. So we'll be back in just a few. And then also, one other thing before you leave, this orange piece of paper, if you could fill that out as a survey right there, please do that before you leave as well. Thank you.